This program was funded by Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, Toyota, SOUTHBANK Partners, the CLABES family, Kentucky Center for Public Service Journalism.
Surely by now you've heard of Goetta, right? This ambrosia of Northern Kentucky is growing in popularity every day, it seems, as people across the state and country get a savory bite of its crunchy, porky goodness. In fact, up here at the top of Kentucky, it's becoming almost a religious experience, with advocates of different makers of the mealy stuff professing their utmost faithfulness to their brand of choice. And if, in fact, Goetta is something of its own religion, then this place, Colonial Cottage in Erlanger, has got to be its highest church, because they sell more Goetta here than any other restaurant in this state.
That is correct.
How much is that?
You lay our Goetta just like this dish, end to end. We will go around the track at Turfway more than 40 times. We serve a little, right about 5 tons of Goetta every year.
For proof of that, you need look no further than the Dixie Highway dining room of this 83-year-old family-owned restaurant any morning of the week, when Goetta gobblers from far and wide cram into booths and tables to get their daily fix of the meaty mix.
It's always been in my life, since I was old enough to hold it in my hand and eat it. But I've made it when I was stationed in Portugal. So I did a speech. It was supposed to be a how-to speech, and I made Goetta. It was to a group of other Air Force members that are going to classes also.
Did you get anybody else addicted to the stuff?
Oh yeah, I did actually.
In fact, even this recognizable fellow and his wife stop at the cottage to fill up on the stuff before they stuff all those stockings. How does Goetta help Santa Claus go about his work?
Makes me strong.
And carry that big bag.
Take care of the reindeers,
Oh, do you feed the reindeer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They like Goetta too.
Yeah, they love it. We have Goetta bites we get.
Now, maybe you're a little stupefied by all this admiration for what is essentially a meat and grain hash, what you might call the queen of mystery meats. And on some level, we see your point. It's pretty homely stuff, particularly in its raw state. Just an amalgam of boiled pork, maybe a few beef parts and their inherent fat, and some pinhead oats and spices, all mashed together in a kind of perverted meatloaf and fried. Granted, it wouldn't seem to merit much more than a passing glance. But there's just something about this stuff that's intimately connected to the very soul of Northern Kentucky. Just ask Colonial Cottage kitchen manager Janine Clark. She not only grew up on Goetta, but has literally made it her life's work.
I used to make it for 20 years at Economy Meat Market. My family was old-time German, and my mother, she would just take all of our leftover meats, grind it up, and then put her seasonings in it and pinhead oats. When you come from a large family of 15, we had to come up with ideals of how to feed everybody. So that was one of them. So, what you would say a connoisseur of Goetta. I tell you what, we have the best Goetta fritter in this world. I don't think anybody can ever beat it.
If Miss Clark is the connoisseur of this stuff, then Matt Grimes is the world's foremost Goetta mastermind, coming up with more ways and whys to serve Goetta than just about anybody on the planet.
Goetta lends itself to so many different applications, from the Goetta wraps to just straight Goetta to the Goetta nachos to the Goetta fritters.
See what I mean? It's an obsession, really.
Dressing it.
But then, after sampling a few of these Goetta combinations, just about everybody seems to succumb to their magic in all its forms, including one of the favorites around this time of year, Goetta dressing. Still, when it comes to the most popular way to get Goetta at the cottage, veteran waitress Linda Exler says there's no competition. It's Goetta and fried eggs, plain and simple.
I started in '82.
Have they always served Goetta?
Oh yes, Goetta has been actually the #1 plate in this restaurant. You know, it's like a bloodline. They just grow up eating, Goetta at all times.